As a nation, we've recently been forced into isolation, stuck indoors with the same people and unable to hug our friends and family.
But there was a time when people actually volunteered to be cut off from society for 12 weeks. It has been, can you believe it, 20 years since the Big Brother house first opened its doors. And so to celebrate, some familiar faces are taking us on a trip down memory lane.
Joined now by Davina and Rylan. It's lovely to see you both.
Is.
And so, Davina, 20 years, it takes something big to last that long. Do you think it was the anarchy that made it so accessible, that everybody loved it so much?
It really it sort of metamorphosized into something very different from the first show. I mean, it was hilarious. We watched one of the episodes from series 1 last night and everything was so basic. I mean, even Marcus Bentley's voice was sort of a bit posher and less Geordie. And then we had that there were people smoking in the house and everyone was so innocent and they were doing nothing. And then it got more and more kind of complicated and developed, but people stuck with it. And I think the thing about Big Brother, and I remembered this last night in such a huge way, is the fans of that show. And obviously Rylan is one of those fans. They're so dedicated in a way that I don't know any other fans of any other show are. I mean, they all came back last night. We were all tweeting together watching the episode, just like I did in 2009 when I joined Twitter. It was phenomenal. Those fans are, and they were there every Friday night for every eviction, signs, cheering, booing. It was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it was groundbreaking, Telly. None of us had seen anything like it, so you can understand why it won all of these fans. Rylan, what was it for you that drew you to it in the first place?
I just never forget that whole world within a world, and I just become obsessed to the point, I think it was 2003, Big Brother 4. I went on a school trip to the Isle of Wight and I printed out the Big Brother logo with my name underneath and took the suitcase on the train and lied to people on the train that I was going on Big Brother. I was 13. I mean, someone believed me, which was even better. But yeah, I just became obsessed with that format. And I don't know, it just... me and Davina have been speaking a lot over the past few weeks, and it just gets into you. It's like in your blood. And then to sort of go on and become a housemate, win the show, work on the show was just a dream come true.
You were going to be on the show, and then it all got spoiled.
Yeah, it was 2007 Big Brother 8. I would have met Davina then. I was a housemate. I was in hiding. I think I was going in with Jerry, Greek Jerry. Sort of week 2 twist of Big Brother 8, and it all came out in the paper. It was the front page of the papers that I was going in, and back then the rules were very, very strict. If you got found out, you didn't go in, and I never let it go.
You're still quite bitter about it, aren't you?
I've still got the right up, yeah. But in all fairness, it worked out good in the end.
It did work out all right in the end. You did go on to eventually win it. But Davina, I mean, it still infiltrates your life now. I mean, those phrases where I can hear your voice all the time saying, Big Brother, this is Davina, or I'm coming to get you. Please don't swear.
Well, this is Davina is my Twitter handle, so that's always with me every time I go on there. But like, even if I say to my kids or something, I'm coming to get you, in my head I'm going, I'm coming to get you. Yeah. And I still get 20 years on, people are still telling me not to swear.
It's amazing.
What about your favourite bits, favourite people?
I mean, the big characters always were my absolute favourites. The ones that Nicki Grahame obviously was amazing. And Rylan and I were talking about the people that give us those. I mean, she's amazing, right?
She is amazing.
Rylan and I were talking about the people that gave us those iconic moments. So George Galloway and Rula Lenska, even though I can't watch it without putting a cushion in front of my face.
It's on again. It's on again.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the licking
that moment.
But they were great housemates, because they were hilarious. What was going on there? Pete Burns, an amazing celebrity. But one of my favourites, and always has been my favourite, was Nadia. Nadia, who went in needing to be known as a woman, and needing to be her true self and not being judged by her past and just being known for who she was and to win.
Yeah.
It was really, really special.
What about you, Rylan? What about yours?
Do you know what? There's so many, and me and Davina, like she said, was speaking about this so much. But I hate to sound like a broken record, but it was Nadia for me as well. She was definitely my favourite housemate of all time, to the point where, again, just to show my obsession, my very first job was in a salon, and they gave me a Nadia name badge instead of Ross. So
you are so woven into this show. It's ridiculous.
I know, it's frightening.
Davina, do you ever feel like, because, you know, Rylan has had the whole experience from fan to contestant to host. You know, do you ever wish that you could have felt like what it would have been like to be inside there, to be a housemate? Could you have done it?
Do you know, the thing for me about going into that house is that often people would come out saying, oh, well, I was badly edited. But not, you know, there were times when we could watch it 24/7. And actually, I think what it is it just brings out the best in people, and it also brings out the very worst in people. Absolutely. And I don't think I don't want people to see the worst of me. I'll leave that for my kids.
Yeah.
Rylan, so having done the full circle, as Holly was just saying there, Rylan, what was it like when you got the job?
It was surreal. I remember the night I won, and I had about 10 minutes where I was in the house by myself, and what a lovely photo. And I just wanted to soak in every single moment, because I was so lucky to get the job and go back, and it was my dream come true. But you will never get your house back. You will never get your walls, your diary room chair. I mean, I am on my diary room chair in my diary room. That was part of the gig when I accepted the job. I was like, if I get the diary room chair, I'll do it. And I did. But yeah, it was just soaking in that moment. But then to get that phone call, I'd gone from X Factor to Big Brother, and then the bubble burst. That was it. It was all over. And that phone call was sort of the lifeline to say, go on, we'll take a punt. And it was my apprenticeship. Big Brother was my apprenticeship into the job I do now, and I'll forever be grateful.
And so how has life been? I mean, obviously, I suppose that this is a series, a programme that would never have happened had it not been for lockdown. Everyone's trying to find things to fill telly schedules and think, oh, that's a really good idea, and you can present it virtually. But what have your lives been like? We've talked to you early on, Davina, you're doing bits and pieces for us, but how is it?
I mean, what's really weird is the parallels between Big Brother and being in lockdown, and this not being able to have any contact with the outside world. And actually, all of us were watching last night with that new, unique perspective. It's really interesting watching that show after what we've just been through. But my lockdown has, you know, it's been ups and downs, and I'm just lucky to you know, have a roof over my head and food on the table. But it's a tough time for friends and families of lots of people who've lost parents and things like that. So I'm just hoping that this sort of slow, gentle release of us all will be all done in a very safe and manageable way, and we can get back to normal.
What about you, Rylan? What have you been up to?
Do you know what? I've been up to what everyone else has been up to, staying at home. I've been lucky to be able to do some remote work as well, but there is no complaints from my end, because just like Davina said, you know, I've got a house with a garden, I've got outdoor space, I've, you know, got food on the table. I've not had, thank God, major money worries over this time. So for me, I've had it extremely lucky. So yeah, you get no complaints.
You also have the best backdrop for the Zoom quiz right there, don't you?
I do, literally. You're lucky, because I was in pants 5 minutes ago. I never wear shorts, but I'm so hot in here. I've actually got shorts on today, so yeah.
Right.
I know, sorry, Davina. Me and Davina were having a bath last night, not together, may I add. And that was a moment. That was a moment for 12-year-old me to relish.
Thank you, guys.
Lovely to talk to you both.
Big Brother,
Love you,
best
Phil.
show.
Love you, Holly.
Best shows ever is tonight at 9 on E4.
Rylan.
Thank you, guys. Bye now.
Bye.